do it. So the agenda of today's webinar, we will start by a brief introduction to virtual inventory, where I will give you an introduction, and later on Kateryna will give a general demonstration on how the solution works. She will also pull us through how some new features of the solution works. And to end the session off, we'll have a Q&A. Okay, so let's jump into the introduction to virtual inventory. Today, I will talk to you about, firstly, our mission. So what is the core value? What is the core vision of virtual inventory? And then we'll talk about some challenges that we are facing and how we can resolve these together, and how changing a mindset, striving for efficiency, and thinking about people is also core to virtual inventory. And we also believe that we can make a difference together, and sharing is really important, as I will talk about in a second. We have a holistic approach to collaboration, and we truly believe that this is one step forward to achieving our goals. And then to finish my presentation off, I will give you some real-life examples from our contributors on how they have used virtual inventory. So let's start by looking at our mission. So share today, invest in tomorrow. That may sound like a tagline that some marketing company came up with, and of course it is, but it's also true that this is at the core of everything we do. So the sharing mindset is absolutely key to virtual inventory. By collaborating, we believe that we can develop the material management on the Norwegian continental shelf in the future. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I thought that I would start off by showing you a video so that you can get an introduction to the virtual inventory.
Welcome to Virtual Inventory, an ultimate digital solution for sustainable material management for the oil and gas industry across the Norwegian continental shelf. We know what it takes to balance responsible consumption, optimized inventory, and efficient production while preserving competitiveness and reducing the environmental footprint. Here's why we joined efforts and created a platform that establishes a new holistic approach to material management through inter-party collaboration. Virtual Inventory is a cloud-based solution for seamless exchange of surplus excess materials and equipment in stock. Operators can easily upload inventory data in a structured way, search for needed items, and create regular or critical material requests on the portal. In this way, a collaboration between operators and cross-license transfer of the materials dramatically decreases the overlapping of all inventories across the Norwegian continental shelf. Usage of virtual inventory will reduce production stops and downtime, lower warehouse and maintenance costs, increase operational safety, and eliminate the inventory levels by reusing the available synergies. Adoption of the virtual inventory philosophy will significantly contribute to future sustainability and prosperity while securing nature and changing the mindset of the entire oil and gas industry. Virtual inventory. Share today. Invest in tomorrow.
Okay, great. So that was an introduction to how the big virtual inventory how it functions. So let's get into some of the challenges that we have talked to you about and how they can be addressed. So at the Norwegian Oil and Gas Association, we are constantly collaborating with you as the operators, and we've made an illustration of a pretty exhausted, as it would seem, material manager who has some challenges that he would like to overcome. So please take a second to read the statements that we have outlined here and try to think about if they maybe apply to you. And if the answer to that is yes, I really think that the next hour will be of great benefit to you, because these are some of the challenges that we really believe that we can help you with. So I've highlighted apart some of the challenges. So for instance, the excess inventory in your warehouse. We know that a lot of inventory is just standing on the shelf and collecting dust and not being used. And this is, of course, very costly. And our question then is, why don't you share it? Simply. So using the virtual inventory, one operator can have the ability to share their excess inventory with another operator. And this will, of course, save time by reducing lead time, as I will come back to later. But of course, also money, as you will not have to go directly to the manufacturer for a new part, but you can simply ask another operator for new parts. And also, of course, it will save you a lot of headaches, because often the lead time can be long and expensive. And critical equipment is, of course, vital to a virtual inventory. So if you as an operator, you find that you need a piece of equipment to actually stop downtime, potential downtime, then you can look at other operators' inventory and ask them if they would have the possibility to share that with you. And also this raises the question, if each operator has the need to have their own critical equipment ready in their own stock. So say, for instance, that you need X pieces, say you need 10 pieces of a specific valve. Do each operator need to have 10 valves in their own stock? Or would it suffice to have 10 on the whole continental shelf, or 20, for instance? So by utilizing virtual inventory, perhaps we could have a more critical minimum inventory that is shared among all of the operators. And of course, the lead time. As I will come back to in the real life examples, we have some truly good examples on how a manufacturer had several weeks of delivery time, while virtual inventory could deliver in a couple of days. So this can, of course, mitigate unproductive downtime when you get the inventory faster. And of course, also in the Norwegian Oil and Gas Association and virtual inventory, we always work to look at the operational silos. So if you have an issue that perhaps another operator solved yesterday, then we want to create a collaborative community where you can talk together about the issues and solve them together. Okay, so this is all down to what's in it for you. So in your daily work. And on a perhaps higher level, this is part of changing a mindset where we strive for efficiency. So by working closely with you, with our reference group meetings, we really want you to share your material management concerns with us, as you are doing today. By doing so, we can really develop a new future for material management. And on a higher level, as I mentioned, this can have great implications on sustainability, environment, competitiveness. For instance, imagine not needing to manufacture a new generator, for instance, and the massive carbon emissions that would entail. Now you can reduce the carbon footprint by not having even to ship it from another part of the world even. And of course, also optimize your operating costs. And also at the core of virtual inventory is our people mindset. As I mentioned, collaboration is key to virtual inventory. And if your challenges change, we change. So this promise is part of the collaboration phase, that we are a solution made for and by you. So imagine a place where you can talk with other managers in the same position as you on the Norwegian continental shelf. That is the kind of future that we would like to create. A new sustainable digital community, avoiding the silos. So how can this make the difference? Virtual inventory is a single platform for material management. So what this means is that it's a standalone solution. It's not based on any of the operators' own ERP systems. It's based on how you all can collaborate in one single system across the whole continental shelf. So this is our holistic approach to material management. Operator A may request a critical material, and this is of course the most vital part of virtual inventory as of today. If you need any critical material, then perhaps some of the other operators can supply you with them in significantly lower lead time than a manufacturer could. Selling surplus material is also something that we're working with and that we currently have a solution for. If you have a number of items in stock that you need to that you would like to get rid of, that you would like to sell, then that is also something virtual inventory can help you with. Real-time monitoring is also something that we're working with, so that every day when you log on to virtual inventory, you can see in real time the whole inventory across the continental shelf. And then also planning to buy new equipment. If you, for instance, would like to be more sustainable, to reuse equipment from other operators instead of manufacturing new ones, then virtual inventory is a very sustainable place to go. So this was also highlighted in the video, so I won't go into detail on this slide. But of course, there are a number of benefits from using virtual inventory. So in capital expenses reduced, imagine eliminating inventory levels. You can utilize the excess materials of all of the operators on the Norwegian continental shelf. So instead of everyone having a surplus of 10, you can have a surplus of 20 across the continental shelf. Of course, a safety stock, which would lead to less risk with you knowing that another operator has the inventory in stock. So you know that you would have access to it if there were need for it. Environmental footprint, I've touched on that. Of course, more efficient with loaning and the sharing economy approach, and less waste. And of course, also the cooperation side of things. So further development, the sharing mindset on the Norwegian continental shelf. There are so many competent people just waiting to share their ideas with other operators. Digitalization, cross sales, and also virtual inventory has a very big focus on data quality, attention to this, and standardization of the data. So let's get into some of the real-life examples. So for instance, the Skarv license, they had an urgent need to acquire proximity sensors, and it would have taken them several weeks to deliver this item from the supplier. But another operator had a surplus inventory of the required product and could share it within 24 hours. And these, by using virtual inventory, Skarv avoided downtime with a potential income loss of as much as 18 to 84 million Norwegian kroner. I'll share with you two more examples. So the Alvheim license needed spare parts for a pump, and these components were identified within 12 minutes, and they received the parts in less than a day after the posting on the VI platform. Meanwhile, the delivery time from the supplier was estimated to be as much as 9 weeks. So this avoided potential downtime, not only for Alvheim, but also for Bøyla, Volum, and Vilja. So last but not least, the Eldfisk example. So they needed a circuit board that was required for the fire alarm system, and Equinor responded within 6 minutes. And they fetched the component from an offshore installation by helicopter within 1 day. The board was installed offshore on Eldfisk within 4 days, and saving the licensees 12 weeks. So we have some great examples on how virtual inventory can save both time, costs, and of course a lot of headaches with acquiring the material that you need. So these are our contributors, and we are very much looking forward to you becoming a part of the virtual inventory community, because that's really what this is, a community where we can share and invest in tomorrow. So thank you so much for paying attention to me. And now I will hand the stage over to Kateryna. So let me just give the floor to you, Kateryna, who will give you a demonstration of the solution.
Thank you very much. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so now let's see how the virtual inventory looks like. So now we are on the main page of the virtual inventory, and you can see that it's quite neat and clear. So everything is vivid and visible. So let's start from up to the bottom on the main header menu, which is accessible from any page. You can see your home tab, inventory search, requests, my company tab, different links to the solution pool provided by NOROG to Magnet JQS, Subquip, EQHub. There is always the possibility to create a critical material request. We will talk about it a little bit later, and other parts of the menu. The main idea of the virtual inventory is upload, search, and request. And to follow this activity on the main page, you can see the two fields regarding to general search and material search. So once you log in, you can immediately start working within the system and perform any type of the search you want. If you are a little bit confused what type of search you need to choose, there is a hint, and in future the system will be extended with the new functionality where you will be able to watch tutorials, read some useful information like user guides, release notes, and so on. Also, on the main page, as Lars has mentioned, that the virtual inventory is the platform for collaboration, and here you can see the news feed where NOROG can share with the potential and current virtual inventory users the information and the contact they want to be delivered with some useful information regarding the updates, regarding the common goals, and how all of the operators are going to achieve them, as well as news from the virtual inventory about some deals, about the fruitful result the system can bring, as well as sharing some system updates and other stuff. If we scroll down, we can see the prompt statistics regarding the request summary performed within the system. So without going anywhere, you can see how many requests are created, how many are in progress, and how many deals are completed. I want to emphasize that I'm using for my presentation the test environmental, so the data can be corrupted. So on the prod environmental environment, you will see the true digits and true statistic regarding the request. So now let's start from the first stage with uploading information. So let's go to our search, and for being more precise, I will switch to the virtual inventory having the system administrator, right? And you can see that everything is started with uploading data. Every operator contribute to the future system development by uploading their inventory registers to the system, so then it is available for every operator who is currently using the virtual inventory. After uploading data, the next step, of course, is data administration with the relevant permission and role. The operating company can export inventory, can work on the quality check report, and of course, the data enrichment is continuous process, as the main idea and the main concept of the virtual inventory is to provide real users with a quick search and the ability to create as many requests as needed. So now let's imagine that I'm a user and I do need to order valve. So let's proceed with the general search by keyword, and you can see here that I have 27,000 of search results. They reach a huge list. Of course, if you want, you can proceed with each item, but we did our best and created filters for you. You can use the filter manufacturer and select. You can choose the filter seller. You can scroll down and choose who from operators you want to deliver this part. You can choose the location, the nearest to you. Next one is class and the EQ Hub attributes. With the help of integration between virtual inventory and EQ Hub, you are welcome to use this filter. And now let's go. I will choose, for example, this one, and you can see how with one click I narrow down my search result, and now instead of 27,000 I have 100 of search results. The next one, you can see here the list of items with the material number, description, manufacturer part number, manufacturer owner location, and available quantity within the system. So you can go to the item, you can read the explanation, you can read material information, the description. If you want to go deeper, you can go to the full information, and there is also the attribute information delivered from EQ Hub. And then how to proceed with the search if you have, again, 100 of results. Within our system, you will be able to compare items. So for example, let's choose this item from our energy. And for example, let's compare. I hope that everything will work. Compare with this one. So you can see here the list. You can see here attribute information, again taken from the EQ Hub, and by switching on this filter you will be able to compare. Using this functionality you will be able again to nail down your request, your item search, and choose the best item you need. Of course, if you want to read the full description of this item, having the account on EQ Hub, you will be able to log in with the system and proceed with the information processing. So now we have done the great job, and we went through quickly through the search. So now let's go to the main and the central flow of the virtual inventory. So create the request. Within our system, you will be able to create general request, then one critical request, and regular request. Basically, from this is an opportunity. You will be able to create different types of requests from any page. So now if we are on the search page, so let's proceed with the regular request. You see here the available quantity. So for example, one piece, and it's enough for me. Sorry, I will add it to cart. Then I can go forward with the search. So for example, I don't need only valve. For example, I need any type of circuit, so I can proceed and add any item to the cart. And then once I go there, I will be able to choose the criticality. If we are going to create the regular request, so you can choose that level, the needed level. So for example, I'm planning to buy this item. I will choose my license or installation if it is needed, and if you want seller to be aware of any additional information, you're always welcome to add any description you want to be processed. And of course you can mention in copy your colleague, and then you will be work together based on that request. By pushing the green button, the request will be sent to operators, and voila, you have to wait till the any operator answers. So that's about the critical, that's about regular request. But for example, if you're experiencing the downtime and you urgently need an item, what you should do, you just need to create the critical request. If you create this type of request from the search result and from the item entity, the information will be pre-filled by the system. So then you will need to enter just your mobile phone. Again, choose the additional information about your license, mention your colleague, and you will be able to proceed with the step 2. And you can see here that the data here is pre-filled. So what you need just to check, put the needed quantity and proceed with the step 3. Here you choose the criticality, immediate production loss within 1 or 2 weeks. You choose the category of the item, and of course below you can see the list of operators. If you want everyone to receive this alarm signal, so you choose everyone. If you have the particular list of operators, so you just untick and proceed. Again, possibility to add any detailed information and of course adding any additional comments. So this is the first option how you can create critical material request after performing search. But for example, if you are very busy or you experience an issue with that downtime, you can go to the system and you remember I said that the critical material request yellow button is accessible every time from any page, anytime from any page. So here again, you proceed with the filling your additional information like mobile phone, and then choose your license, put your colleague in CC and then proceed. But here there is one step you have to cover, because when you create critical material request with the help of the button on the header menu, you have to fill the information regarding the needed item by your own. And once all these fields are filled with information, you can go forward and proceed with the step 3. Step 3 is the similar from the previous request flow I have shown you. You choose the criticality, you choose the category, choose the recipients and proceed. But there is one more option. For example, if you are not the virtual inventory user or you do not have time to log in to the system, there is one more portal called Critical, with the help of which you can immediately create the critical material request, and then your colleague will be able to process it and to send to the operators. So the form here is quite similar with that I shown you within the virtual inventory, but you have to fill all your data, personal data by your own, and also fill the information here. And once this form is complete, you go to preview and submit form. Then you will be able to look through again the information you are going to send as a request and then submit the request. Once the button is pushed and this request is completed from your side, your colleague will be able to proceed this request within the virtual inventory, linking to existing, for example, if the request has been previously creating but you are not aware of it, or create the new critical material request. But that's not the last type of request. For example, if you went to search and you haven't found any item, you will be able to create general material request. You have to proceed with the form filling once again, choosing your license, and here on this step you have to pre-fill information by your own and choose operators, and then they will have to search in their inventory register if they do have such item in stock. If yes, they will immediately contact you. Now, once we have created any type of request, in the virtual inventory, there is a dedicated tab of the request. Anytime you can go to this tab and see the status of the created request. So for example, now let's open this one. And here how the request looks like after you have completed the previous procedure. So you will see the number of the request, you will see the status. It changes every time when any amendments added to that request. You will be able to look through the request information. You will be able to check the material information. Again, if it is needed, you can go to full description of the item. You will be able to check if there are any attachments, and what is very important, each request has its own dedicated chat where you can easily communicate with the seller and ask any related questions to him, her, how you're going to proceed with that deal. Should it be here? The communication should be held in the dedicated chat or externally. And pay your attention to the message button. I will come back to this functionality a little bit later. So there is one more way you can contact the responsible from the seller side. So now that's all about the request. So the next information that I want to share with you, that Lars has mentioned several times, that the collaboration is the main point the virtual inventory was created for. So uploading inventory data, you have an opportunity to be transparent between the operators and show what do you have in your stock. You will be able to share your inventory. You will be able even to sell it. So that's the benefit. So you won't spend any costs for your warehouses and so on. But when you want to see, for example, and when creating any type of request, you see that your action doesn't matter, but basically it is. We have the reporting tab, and now I'm showing you the virtual inventory on behalf of system administrator. So here you can see again the data on the test environment. Also, for any reporting activities, it will be crucial to present how many requests were created within the system, how many searches were performed, and what is more important, when you're going to close the deal, there will be a pop-up window where you will be able to add savings, different type of savings you can calculate, starting from the saving money on the equipment, or you can calculate the downtime and add this sum to the general statistics. So then it will help by the end of the year to calculate the great benefit virtual inventory bring to the oil and gas industry. So you will see how the overlap of the items has decreased, as well as how much money has been saved. And now about new features. So if we are going to show you about the company tab. It wasn't present. So this is the new feature, and the collaboration platform is growing and going bigger. So now you will be able to see your colleagues from your company, and then you will be able to contact them anytime you want, anytime you need to ask the information without going to any other messengers or going to your Outlook. So this platform allows you to immediately reach the right person. Here, from the company page. The next one, there is the notification tab. The notification tab, this is the great functionality which will inform you anytime the new request has been created. The blue one is dedicated to regular or general request. The yellow one is about critical request, and the white card is depicting that this request should be processed as a seller. And there is the second tab, there's a dialogue. This correlates with the messenger. I have shown you with the ability to message. So you can go to the dialogue section, and you can see here the contact list you were previously dealing with them. So for example, if you want to contact the ConocoPhillips admin from my panel here, I just need to write them hi, and the message will be sent. So for example, for you it will be easier again to identify the person you were previously in contact regarding any type of request or any type of activity. So being registered within the virtual inventory, there are different ways how you connect with the seller. It could be the dedicated chat, then it could be the messenger, and so on. This portal provides you basically with all needed activities, and I hope that in future you will be the real user and following the main slogan of the product: share today, invest in tomorrow. So basically, Lars, that's all from my side.
Thank you, Kateryna. Thank you so much. So that concludes the presentations from our side. So if any of you have any questions related to what we just presented to you, or anything else related to virtual inventory, please feel free to share them here in the chat. So we'll allow for a couple of minutes for you to do so, and if not, please feel free to share them with us in the follow-up email, where we'll include some contact details. So that is really the end of the webinar. So let's see if we have any questions to share. Okay. Yeah, thank you. So we'll be happy to hear some feedback from you in the follow-up emails. And thank you so much again for paying attention to us. And we're looking forward to seeing you in some future sessions. So thank you so much.